Hello and welcome to my channel. In this lecture we will conclude our talk about epithelial tissue and study some more details about the tissue. So let's begin. If we study the cell types of the epithelium, as mentioned before, they vary between squamous, cuboidal, and columnar if classified by their shape. The squamous epithelium acquired their name from the squama, Latin for scale or scales of the fish or snake. They are flat and thin cells and look polygonal when viewed from above, like the section you see here. They tend to have to be flattened horizontally, and they have nearly oval-shaped nuclei because of the thin, flattened form of the cell. The squamous epithelium is found lining the surfaces of the skin of the skin, for example, the alveoli of the lung, the blood vessels. In the lung, they enable the diffusion of gases across them, and specialized squamous epithelium lines the cavities such as the blood vessels. In the pericardium, it's called mesothelium. In the blood vessels, it's called endothelium, and the pleural cavity, for example. So it lines every body cavity present there. Cuboidal cells, for example, this is a section from sweat glands. You can see the cuboidal cells. They are cubic in shape with rounded nuclei. They appear square in cross section, and the nucleus is large, as shown here, spherical, as in the center of the cell, not near the base of the cell, in the center of the cell. And the cuboidal epithelium, common to find in secretive tissue, such as the exocrine glands, or as absorptive tissue, such as the pancreas or the lining of the kidney tubules, as well as the ducts of the glands. These are the sites of the cuboidal epithelium, either simple or stratified. Also, the germinal epithelium that covers the female ovary, and the germinal epithelium that lines the walls of the seminiferous tubules and the testis are also of the cuboidal type. Cuboidal cells, because of their size, so they are there for protection. Also, there may be active in pumping material in or out of the lumen, according to the location of these cells. The simple cuboidal epithelium commonly differentiates to form secretory and duct portions of glands, and the stratified cuboidal epithelium protects areas because it's stratified, so it withstands abrasions, such locations as the ducts of the sweat glands, the mammary glands, and the salivary glands. Columnar epithelium cells are elongated, as you can see here. They are 4 times as wide, as long as their width, with their nuclei rounded and basal nuclei near the basement membrane, and it forms the lining of the stomach and intestines. The cells may have microvilli to maximize the area for absorption, and the microvilli themselves may form a brush border on top of the cells, Other cells may be ciliated to move mucus in the function of clearing the mucus, usually towards the outside of the body. Other ciliated cells are found in the fallopian tubes, ciliated because they push the ova towards the lining of the uterus. Also lines the uterus and the central canal of the spinal cord. In the central canal for the spinal cord, where it's called ependyma, and the cilia is for the movement of the CSF. Remember that. Some columnar cells are specialized sensory cells, like those in the nose and the ears and the taste buds. In the ears, they are called hair cells in the inner ears, and they have stereocilia that are similar to microvilli. Goblet cells, if present, they present between the columnar epithelial cells of the duodenum, for example, and they secrete mucus. Mucus is used for protection and as a lubricant or a lubricant. Single-layered non-ciliated columnar epithelium has an absorptive function. The stratified columnar epithelium is rare but found in lower ducts in the salivary glands, the eye, the pharynx, and in the sex organs. The pseudo-stratified epithelium, it's a type of simple epithelium, means that all the cells reaches the basement membrane, although they look stratified because of the different heights of the nuclei. You can see as shown here, but if you examine carefully, all the cells reach the basement membrane. This is why it acquired the pseudo name. And this is how it looks like when viewed in cross section. Ciliated pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium almost exclusively found in the respiratory tract. This is a cut section of the trachea. In the respiratory tract, the movement of these cilia move mucus usually to the outside of the body, and the mucus there is secreted to lubricate and trap pathogens and particles to protect the lungs. The ciliated epithelium is found in the airways, the nose and bronchi, but also found in the uterus and fallopian tubes, where the cilia propel the ovum to the cavity of the uterus. This is a picture of a transitional epithelium. As you can see here, the top layers are cuboidal epithelium, and it's a kind of stratified epithelium tissue. This is the transitional epithelium. You can see the rounded central nuclei of the transitional epithelium, and if the organ changes status, means it becomes filled, these top cells become flat. It changes into stratified squamous, so it transitions between stratified squamous and stratified cuboidal. This is to show you the different types of epithelium and their location and function. For example, the simple squamous epithelium, it's found in the lungs, air sacs, lining the heart, blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and it allows material to pass through by diffusion. Simple cuboidal epithelium, you can find it in small glands and in kidney. They secrete and absorb molecules. Simple columnar in bronchi, uterus, and digestive tract. It absorbs and secretes mucus. Pseudo-Stratified columnar epithelium, as said, in the respiratory tract and secretes mucus with cilia to move the mucus. The stratified squamous, it's for protection. You can find it in esophagus, mouth, vagina, skin also. It protects against abrasion. Stratified cuboidal has secretory function present in sweat glands, salivary glands, also a protective tissue. Stratified columnar epithelium, it's found in the male urethra and ducts of some glands, also secretes and protects the organ. Transitional epithelium, almost exclusive in the urinary tract, so you will find it in the bladder, the urethra, and ureters. It allows the urinary organs to expand and stretch. Now, it was mentioned before that the cells rest on a basement membrane. This basement membrane is a ground upon which the cells rest and can regenerate after injuries. And the epithelial tissues, they have nerve supply, but they don't have blood supply, so they acquire their nourishment from underlying connective tissue by diffusing across this basement membrane. And the basement membrane is selectively permeable membrane that determines which substances will be able to enter the epithelium. I hope you got the maximum benefit from this lecture, and thank you very much for watching.